Hi, it's Danielle. I'm back. Alright, I'm gonna rant a little bit. I just feel like this is about that time. When you keep yourself in the house, or like, maybe not necessarily in the house. I'm definitely not in the house right now. I was actually walking on trails after just playing some basketball. But when you keep what I have been keeping myself pretty hermit and closed off from everyone because I realize, I can't trust anyone. Because nothing is what it seems, and nobody is who they said they were, and I'm guilty of that. Like, being that in the past, it gets to thinking. I have a lot on my mind, and I just feel like, why not share it? Since freedom of speech. So now again, I'm not parent of the year. Okay, I'm like the least from parent of the year. However, since my last video was about parenting and psychologically damaging your children, whether you're aware of it or not, I just want to bring it to attention also is favoritism, and I'm guilty of it. However, I didn't verbally say it, Lord forgive me, but to me, in my opinion, okay, from a child or an adult who's had a lot of things go on in their life, not necessarily to do with favoritism, but I think it's personally not okay to verbally, or to even like have favorites, but to verbally say out loud where your children can hear you, even if you're talking to someone else, you don't think that they can hear you, but they're there, that, oh, this one's my favorite, and that one, oh, he looks just like his mother, he looks just like his father, and every time I look at him, I can't stand it, because it reminds me of him, or them, or her, or whatever. They hear you, and even if they act like they don't understand, like, again, you don't know what they're going to remember. You have no idea. Every kid's memory starts different. Like, there's kids that remember being born, okay? Like, there's kids that remembered their first step. So you might think, well, they're young, they're not going to remember, or it's nothing, but that's not true. It's not true. And as it, like, there's so many other things, like, comparison is one of the biggest things that we go through, like, even adults, Facebook, Instagram, teenage years, and like, kids struggle so hard to fit in and make friends as it is. Like, I don't feel like at home they should feel like their sister or their brother or, niece and nephew or whatever, oh, you're my favorite, and, oh, I wish you were never even born because, blah, 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 me and your father and mother didn't work out. It's just, it's not okay, in my opinion. And again, no one has to listen to me. I don't even have any followers, so I'm just ranting to anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ranting to myself pretty much on the phone. And, trust me, if I could go back and do my parenting, I would. So I'm not saying I'm the best mom, my parent of the year, because like I said, I'm not. I went over this a million times, so I'm not, like, meaning it to sound like I'm judging anybody. I'm not. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help, and of course that makes me the bad guy. So whether I help or I don't, somehow I'm still the bad guy. Everyone needs a villain in their story, right? Okay, make it me. But I really think that these things shouldn't be said to your children, or like around your children, in front of your children, or where they can hear it, or even like when they're even in the room and you're talking to someone else, you think they don't hear you. They hear you. Just imagine your kid now is in elementary school or middle school, after going through elementary school trying to find friends, now they're in middle school trying to find friends, they're trying to fit in, no one wants to, they're not good enough, they're not this enough, how cliques are in middle school and high school, how it is, like, you can't act like you don't, like, exactly how it is. And then here comes along a group of friends, peer pressure, oh, try this, and they're like, oh, they're talking to me, I'll try it because I want to fit in, I want to be cool, right? Like, I want friends. Next thing you know, your kid's addicted to something, your kid's doing this, your kid's doing that, doing something that you don't agree with, you don't want them to do. Well, they just wanted some friends, they just wanted to fit in, they just wanted somebody to love them. I'm just saying. And then now you're mad, because your kid's got a problem. Or maybe you're mad because you just found a list of 13 reasons why. You gotta be careful what you say to your kids. Like, trust me, if I could go back, I would. You have to be careful what you say in front of your kids. You have to be careful what you do to your kids. You have to be careful who your kids are around, and stop trusting everybody. Lord, forgive me. when it was me, you know? Like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be trying to help if I didn't have a life full of regret of my past. Like, that's where it comes from. It's not me thinking I'm better than anybody. It's for me to try to help the young adults out here and the parents out here to not be in my situation in 20 years when your kids are adults or young adults. That's what it is. I don't think I'm better than anybody out here. I'm trying to help you. I'm not trying to judge you. I'm really not. I'm not judging you. I'm trying to help by someone who's been through these experiences and have messed up royally. And now I sit here alone. I'm trying to help you, not be me in 20 years. I wish people would see that. You know, like, you think that what you're saying is okay to your children, and then, like, now you're saying it, now the babysitter is saying it, now the grandparents saying it, now aunt, uncle are saying, oh, you're my favorite, you're so cute, blah, blah, and this one over here, oh, it looks just like his dad, like, do you know what you're doing? And, like, I personally don't think it's okay for mothers and fathers to talk about their absent parent in front of their children, or about their parent, or whoever is raising them. It doesn't have to be a mom or dad, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather. It could be your friend of the family. Like, it is just absolutely not okay to sit there and judge the other parent or spouse. But I don't care what they did. Why would you just slander them in front of a child? You know, like, why? I mean, it's bad enough they realize that the parent is not there, or whoever they see that the parent is absent. You don't need to go out of your way. You don't need to go out of your way to slander them where the kid can hear them, or to the kid. Oh, your father, your mother, such a this, your da da da. Like, what does that say about you? You're telling a child this. You're ranting your emotions to a child who already is wondering probably why they're not there, and now you're sitting here putting your 2 cents into it. You know, it's one thing to be there for them and comfort them and answer the questions, but to go out of your way and make it worse than it needs to be when it's not an age-appropriate thing to be saying to them, to me, is inappropriate. But hey, again, that's just my opinion. Everyone has a right, to their opinion. You know, like, oh, your mom's not this, your dad's not that, your so-and-so is not this and not that. Why are you saying that to a child? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're brainwashing them to think of their whoever the way you want them to see it. Do you even know the full story? You probably know half the story. Do you even, you know what I mean? Even if you do, like, know a little bit, like, it's still not your place to sit there and drilling whatever into their head. You're brainwashing. You're putting your image of what you want. You know what I mean? Like, you're just, okay, I'm not going to keep repeating. I can't stand repeating. The world's not repeat right now. Everybody and everything is on repeat. Lord, forgive me when it's me, because I can rant, okay? I can rant and I'll repeat this. I'll say the same thing 5,000 times in a different way. Like, oh my goodness. It's a nice day. You guys, get out in nature. Enjoy the sun. Get some vitamin D. Put some sun on your face. You know? Like, get out. Walk. Work out. Do something with yourself. Like, I mean, I don't have a lot going on in my life, but, like, I'm telling you, sitting on the phone pressing buttons isn't what I want to do. You know, trying to slander people and throw dark demonic energy around is not something that I want to do. Forget, it's loud. Can't help it when they want to, fly over, because, 1,000 chemtrails a day isn't enough, I'm sorry, I can't. It's obnoxious to me. It's obnoxious. Any way to keep it dumbed down. Anyway, I hope somebody looks up chemtrails, because I mention it so much. It's just not okay. Like, snap out of it. I wish people wake up. Like, I heard once before, it says, have you ever been so awake you wish you could go back to sleep? And I think I mentioned this in another video. And the answer is no, but, like, it almost is yes, because it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. It is. Because it's like I'm talking a different language than everybody else, or people think that I think I'm above them for some reason, and I don't. Like, I really don't. I'm trying to help you not be me 4 years ago. Like, what's wrong with that? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to grow. And then you're supposed to help people and tell people what you did to get there. And if you don't want to listen to it, then click off. Why are you watching? Like, it's that simple. I'm not screaming from the rooftops. I'm not, I don't know. Know your worth, people. That's what my shirt says. Know your worth. Know your worth. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, and I don't remember. But I'm really just trying to help. I'm trying to help you not be me again. Like I said, here goes a repeat, right? Repeat and repeat. Because, when those bridges are burned, some can't be repaired. They're burnt. Like, it can't be repaired. It can't. And when people act like this, they think it's so innocent. Like, a lot of things I did, like, I didn't really think anything of it. Like, little white lies here, this or that there. Well, they add up. And, like, you can say sorry and you didn't mean it. But eventually, like, your words aren't going to mean anything. And then you sit here and you change your whole life around, and your actions show that you're sorry and prove that you're sorry, and then it still doesn't seem to mean anything. How would that make you feel, And you're just sitting alone now by yourself. I mean, I choose to be alone, but there's people in my past I wish were still in my life, but they're not today, and that's my fault. I don't blame them, like I said. I don't blame them. Like, I'm really trying to help. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm just trying to help you not completely destroy everything and burn bridges and lose your children. That's what I was going to say. Okay, so when you're like, oh, I wish, so-and-so wasn't even born, and, duh, reminds me of his father, and, like, I had this one then, and, years later, it was a different person, and, blah, blah, blah. Nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm not saying, oh, you gotta have kids by the same father. Okay. Anyway, I'm not saying if you do it's wrong either, but okay, God hears you, okay? Whether you believe in God or not is irrelevant, okay? Your creator hears you. So if you're on a daily basis wishing your kid away, not saying like, I wish you were never born, some people do say that, but like just saying things like, oh, I wish I had, I didn't have you, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I wish, whatever, you're my favorite, and I pretty much wish you didn't have them, like, or I wish I could have had you after with the same father as this one, or whatever. Okay, God hears you. And you're pretty much wishing your child away. You have to be careful what you say and careful what you wish for, because in a blink of an eye, something can happen and you won't have your kids. And then you'll be sitting there remembering all the times you said, oh, I wish she wasn't born. I wish she wasn't here. She's not my favorite. I can't stand even looking at him because it looks like his mother or his father. Okay, well, God hears you. In a blink of an eye, he'll take that child from you just like that. Just like that. I'm not saying death. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. You could get locked up. You could get whatever. I don't know. Like, a case could open. Like, I'm just saying. Like, God hears you. God hears you. You need to love your children. You need to love your children and stop wishing that they weren't here, and stop wishing that they weren't this and wishing that they weren't that, and they don't look like their father, they look like their mother, and la la la. Love your children equally. Love your children. Because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised. Stop acting like tomorrow's promised, everyone. Tomorrow's not promised. They hear you. They hear everything you say. I remember I used to be on the phone and I wouldn't even think that my kids were listening, okay? And one of my daughters, every single time, I kid you not, she was a child, okay? A child. She wasn't even 10. I would get off the phone and she'd be like, oh, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Like, straight up repeated my whole conversation to me. And I used to have to tell her, like, I'm on the phone. This is my conversation. And again, she wasn't in the room. I didn't think she was listening to me. She repeated my whole conversation back to me, and she wasn't even 10. You think your kids aren't listening. They hear you. You think your kids don't comprehend what you're saying. They comprehend what you're saying. And you don't know, again, what they're going to remember. Don't let your kid be 13 Reasons Why. Don't let, you know what I mean? Don't. Anyway, 14 minutes rant. It's just a suggestion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to help, okay? Get some sun. Take your shoes off. Put your feet on the ground, okay? Ground. Get your kids outside, barefoot on the ground. No smartwatches, no phones, no tablets. Get your kids to ground, okay? Get some sun on your face and get your feet on the ground, all right? Trying to help you guys. I'm only trying to help. See ya.